I want to start this video off by giving a major shout out to everybody that watches my channel, but more importantly, giving a major shout out to everybody that also watches my New Orleans Pelicans videos. I can't tell you guys how much that means to me from the bottom of my heart. I truly appreciate it, and I promise you that I am going to focus on more small markets going forward because let's be real, somebody has to speak up for the little guys. And large markets, don't worry, I got you guys covered too. To finish November and to start December, I want to go as hard as possible. I want to up the quality of my videos while also putting out more quantity. The face cams will be coming back. We have a new logo. The streams are coming back. And most importantly, we have a football channel that we absolutely have to get going. The link to that channel is going to be down in the description below. Now that that's out of the way, if you're new to my channel, subscribe and hit that noti bell. You will not want to miss another Get Like Coop video, and that's facts. Recently, I've noticed an uptick in Pelican slander, and I just want to say that I really don't appreciate that, because while the Pelicans do deserve some slander, I think an awful lot of it is unwarranted. It's okay if I talk about the Pelicans, it's okay if a Pelicans fan talks about the Pelicans, but where I draw the line is when people that aren't fans of the team speak on things that they really don't have full knowledge of. For example, I've been seeing an awful lot of Brandon Ingram slander lately. Brandon Ingram is by far the Pelicans' best healthy player. If you're going to slander Brandon Ingram, at least come with some facts. I've never really liked the term career loser. If you go on Twitter, if you go on social media, if you look at some videos, you'll see people calling Brandon Ingram a career loser.
There appears to be a lot of it's still Ingram's team moments where
yeah, it's like
I'm with
Ingram's
you
never
on the
won
Zion
anything.
thing.
He's a career loser.
Somebody that doesn't have a winning mentality, and that has not been the case for Brandon Ingram in New Orleans. So much of winning is circumstantial. You have to factor in where a player is. You have to factor in the franchise that player is playing for. You have to factor in the players around that player. And for the New Orleans Pelicans especially, you have to factor in the health of their team. Against the Washington Wizards, Brandon Ingram started the game off insanely hot. But when the going got tough in the fourth quarter, the Pelicans resorted to iso ball, and Brandon Ingram would go cold. How cold was he? Well, just check out this tweet on the screen. I'm not going to sit here and show you guys every single Brandon Ingram miss. Instead, what I will do is I will say that the New Orleans Pelicans would not even be in a position to beat the Washington Wizards without BI. NBA fans confuse me sometimes, and I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the guys that will sit there and be like, free BI, but then on the same account, they will be like, well, Brandon Ingram is a career loser. You guys see what Zach LaVine is doing this season in Chicago, right? You guys saw and see how good the Phoenix Suns look now that Devin Booker has some competent talent and coaching around him. I know Brandon Ingram has not been the best player in the clutch. As a matter of fact, you can make an argument that he's been bad in the clutch. Brandon Ingram is currently 47 of 148 on field goals within the last 5 minutes, and the score is within 5 points. He's also tallied 18 assists while tallying 18 turnovers. To be short, the stats aren't good, but Brandon Ingram is young and he'll figure it out. He took full ownership for the Pelicans, losing by 5 to the Washington Wizards, who are one of the hottest teams in the NBA, I might add. Remember when I told you guys that there were a lot of moving pieces in the NBA? Well, the New Orleans Pelicans have one of, if not the biggest current question mark in the NBA, in Zion Williamson. To some people, all of the jokes about Zion Williamson's weight are funny until they aren't anymore. In my most recent Zion Williamson video, I was hard on the New Orleans Pelicans, but I also showed a lot of love at the same time. Yeah, and I also showed you guys this injury update.
So over a week ago, Willie Green said that Zion Williamson is progressing. That's the word he used in his recovery from a fractured right foot. But his return to play is still up in the air. So what are you hearing about Zion's return, Brian?
So from what I understand, it's good news and bad news. The good news is he is working very hard. He is putting in the sweat equity. He is getting closer, but he is still weeks away, Malika. He is going to have more scans next week. The hope is if those scans looked good, he will be able to return to full practice. And when that happens, I still think you're looking at 2+ weeks. I think we're headed into December for this.
I don't think that a lot of people understand exactly how important that this update is and was. Especially when you compound that update with the update that I'm about to give you guys. Things are finally starting to look up in New Orleans. The most important takeaway from the update that I just showed you guys is that Zion Williamson is working hard to make sure that he's in playing shape. I'm sure Zion Williamson has seen all of the memes. I'm sure he has seen all of the jokes. I'm sure that he has seen all of the doubters, and he is going to use that to fuel his fire. At that same Washington Wizards game where Brandon Ingram went cold, Zion Williamson would reportedly get heckled. Quote, Zion, a man in section 120, screamed during a quiet moment in the third quarter, "Stand up, get some exercise." The man laughed at his own joke, then satisfied, took a swig from his plastic cup filled with a dark-colored drink. Then just before the start of the final quarter, a group of young adult males choreographed their own version of a weight loss intervention for the 2019 #1 overall draft pick. The 3 or 4 men stood up and chanted in unison over and over, "Zion's chunky." Here's the thing, Zion may always be a bigger guy because he has a ton of muscle mass, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Zion Williamson is fat. There is a massive difference between being fat and being overweight. Now, the reports that I've been seeing recently indicate that Zion Williamson is not fat at all. To quote a writer from The Athletic who regularly covers the New Orleans Pelicans, "I've been able to see some of the workouts he's done on the road since he was cleared to do conditioning drills. Based on what I've seen, I can't say he doesn't look like someone who's severely out of shape." The reports of Zion Williamson reaching north of 300 pounds earlier this season were true, which means that if Zion Williamson is not severely out of shape, he really has been putting in the work that Windhorst said that he was putting in. Might I remind you that Windhorst is somebody that is not in the Pelicans corner at all. I can't tell you guys how many times I've seen this guy openly bash the New Orleans Pelicans and their organization. Before the Zion Williamson era even got started in New Orleans, he was one of those guys pushing the narrative that Zion Williamson might and should go back to Duke for another season. Also, if Zion Williamson is not severely out of shape, that means that he has lost a ton of weight. Do you guys hear that? That's the sound of the NBA being scared. If Zion Williamson is able to control his weight and his health, he is going to dominate. We've seen this time and time again in the NBA. Sometimes there's no better motivator than outside noise. People either loved Kobe or they hated him. And if they hated him, it only fueled his fire. I'll never forget hearing those Kobe sucks chants in Phoenix.
Kwame Brown at the free throw line. Log on to TNT Overtime Playoffs 06 on NBA.com.
Like seriously, Kobe, the guy that dropped 81, the guy that willed some questionable Lakers teams to the playoffs, the guy that averaged 35 plus, that guy sucks. Yeah, okay, NBA fans. According to The Athletic, Zion Williamson has been cleared to participate in contact drills, beginning with one-on-one drills and progressively working towards full team workouts, per Pelicans. He'll undergo another round of tests on his foot on November 24th. While a Zion Williamson return might not be imminent, I do think that it's safe to say that as long as there are no setbacks, a Zion Williamson return is definitely on the horizon. And if it is, watch out for New Orleans. I'm going to get hate for that, but hey, it is what it is. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.